This is episode 3 of our travel series, and today's topic is tasting the world, food and travel. Hello, Sue.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well. So how can you really experience the authentic, the true food of the place that you're traveling to?
Well, I think the real food is where the locals eat, and that would be the markets and the street food.
Right. Okay. Let's take Mexico, I think, as a good example.
Yeah.
Somewhere that you're familiar with. What kind of foods could you have on the street in Mexico?
Well, tacos are one of the biggest foods in Mexico City, at least. And you can have that on the streets. You'll see it all around the city. There are some places that are more open to the street than others.
What do you mean?
Just the restaurant might be quite closed. But then there's these places that are restaurants, but they are quite open to the street. So you could go in or you could just stand outside.
Right.
And have your tacos standing. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's quite nice. There's other places that are just street food. You know, these are...
They don't have any buildings for you to sit inside, right?
No, they have these kind of... what would you call it?
They have a kind of stall?
They do, but some of these are permanent.
Right. Okay. So they don't kind of set it up every day.
No, they can close it, leave all their stuff in there, and then they can come back.
Okay.
Some do come and just set up everything every day, but some are just permanent. Well, within the city. Yeah.
And you were saying this is where the locals eat.
Yes. One of the things that my dad always looks for is, are the locals there? Mm-hmm. Are they eating there? Must be good.
Yeah, because they know. And also, it's probably good value as well.
And people do not get sick.
Right, yes. I mean, if something is popular with the local people, then probably it has a good reputation locally. We found this in Greece. We found a place to eat, and it was all local people. I think we were the only foreign people in the restaurant.
Yes, they kind of look at us.
They were
what are you doing here?
A bit surprised when we walked in, but it was fantastic.
It was delicious.
It was absolutely delicious and really good value. Mm-hmm. Every place is going to have different tastes, flavors, unique dishes. So when you travel, you're getting a chance to really experience how people eat locally. So your idea of what food from Thailand is going to be very different to what you will actually have when you're in Thailand. Mm-hmm. So if you're in the UK, the version of Thai food that you eat is Thai food for British people. Not necessarily authentic Thai food that you might experience in the country itself.
This happens a lot with Mexican food, right?
Right.
Yeah, in general, what people think about Mexican food is more Tex-Mex.
Right.
Which is delicious. It's great. I enjoy it. But it's not necessarily Mexican.
Right. It's kind of...
an interpretation.
It's an interpretation. It's kind of Americanized Mexican food. Delicious, as you said. I like Tex-Mex food, but it's very different to what you will have in Mexico. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of interesting. What about etiquette? How to eat. So food is such an important part of every culture. Everybody needs to eat. And food is something that people care about a lot. Can you learn about the etiquette of a country in terms of how they eat when you travel?
Well, you can look at what the locals are doing. But it is important as well to try and follow that etiquette, right? Because people in general, I've found that people are very proud of their national dishes, of the food that they
Of course,
eat.
yeah.
And it can be rude not to follow the etiquette or how you eat it, or this kind of, differences, cultural differences. You don't do it to annoy anyone.
Right.
It's just, you just don't know.
Exactly. And I think in those kind of situations, it's okay to ask, if you're not sure how to eat something or how to prepare something. I see this a lot with Japanese food. It's not always clear what to do. You can get a big tray with many small dishes of sauces and things, and you might not know what to do with all this stuff. Like, what do I do with this sauce? Do I pour it on here? Do I dip this thing into this sauce? It's not always clear what to do. And in those situations, it's absolutely okay to ask the staff or even somebody sitting on the next table, excuse me, what is this?
How do I eat it?
How do I eat it? What do I do with this? Because people are, as you said, people are proud of their food and they're usually very happy to share.
Yeah, we were with some friends in Costa Rica, and that was our first kind of impression of the country, the culture. And it was a buffet in the morning, loads of food, beautiful food. But we didn't know what to order or what to put in the plate. You don't want to make a mix of things that don't go together. Yeah. So as we were queuing, we were asking everyone in the queue, what are you having?
Yeah.
And just getting an idea. And when we, got to the chefs that are giving the food, we asked them, like, what do you recommend?
Right.
What is a breakfast, a proper breakfast?
Yeah.
And they were quite happy to share that with us. And of course, we had a beautiful breakfast every day.
Yeah, because you don't know what breakfast looks like. Like with these options, like I could put a really random selection of food together. So yeah, asking the locals for advice. In terms of etiquette, behavior when eating, I think is a big thing. A good example, again, referring back to Japan, is when you're eating noodles, if you're eating ramen noodles, Japanese people will slurp their noodles. So they will actually make a noise with their mouth as they're putting the noodles in their mouth. And for me, somebody from the UK, you try not to make any noise when you're eating. You certainly don't slurp food. You don't slurp soup from a spoon. And slurping noodles loudly, and I mean loudly. Japanese people, if you go to a ramen shop, you will hear people all around the restaurant slurping their noodles, and it was quite a shock to me. But, you look around and you realize that's how to do it. That's the way that people eat it. And it's kind of almost a sign of respect that you're enjoying it. There's various explanations about why they slurp their food. Some people say it's to cool down the noodles because they're very hot, or the air can help you enjoy the flavor more. There's a few different theories, but it's a different way of doing it. It's a different etiquette, and it's accepted as polite behavior.
We've seen very elegant ladies slurp.
Exactly, yes. Very small, petite Japanese women slurping their noodles like they're a salaryman just finished their shift. So yeah, I think the point you made is look around, see what people are doing, and try it. It might be new to you. It might be uncomfortable, but this is one of the reasons you travel. It's to get out of your comfort zone and try new things. And you never know, you might learn a new way of doing something that you might continue for the rest of your life.